I am Bernice Abubedulansa. We are coming to you from digital address GA0992539 on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 144. Former president and founder of the NDC, Jerry Rawlings, has asked the party's National Executive Committee to take a second look at the new filing fees for flag bearer hopefuls. A statement from his office issued after a meeting with newly elected party executives stated, quote, certain actions or decisions could either be a reflection of the circumstances of the NDC's birth or mark a departure from where we are coming from as a party, end quote. Now, from 50,000 cedis in 2016, when the NDC was in power, the party in opposition is asking for 400,000 cedis for those interested in leading the party into the 2020 general election. All the flag bearer hopefuls, with the exception of former President Mahama, have petitioned the party's Council of Elders to reduce the amount. The 9 aspirants proposed that fees for collection of forms be 5,000 instead of 20,000, while the filing fees be 100,000 instead of 400,000. Let me bring you more of that statement signed by the petitioners. So they say they have reviewed the guidelines and find them inimical to the interest of the NDC. We are hereby petitioning the National Council of Elders, and the specific issues with the guidelines they state are as follows. One, that NEC has not met the procedural requirements set out in Article 42(1)(f) of the party constitution for publishing electoral guidelines, and generally has not met standards of stakeholder consultation acceptable in a social democratic party. Now, a member of the 96 MPs supporting the candidature of former President Mahama says the group has been able to raise more than the amount needed. He spoke on the AM show.
96 in number, MPs for JM. And on Saturday, we decided to mobilize resources and pay 1,000 cedis each. So 96 of us would have been 96,000 cedis. But we said, let's extend it beyond our circles and invite friends, sympathizers, and well-wishers who might want to chip in something.
Within the party?
Within the party.
Is that why we've seen a viral list has swelled over 118 or so?
I haven't seen the lists, and we have not put out the lists largely because of privacy issues. Now, I'm sure there are civil servants who may want to chip in something. Looking at the nature of the MPP and the fact that they have a tendency, they have a proclivity to victimize persons who are seen as NDC. We don't want anybody to suffer the consequences of chipping in something for John Mahama's return. And if you look at the groundswell of support that this has generated, in less than 24 hours, we maxed, we were able to raise more than the 420,000.
How much have you raised so far?
I haven't checked the latest figures yet.
But it could run into?
I'm sure it's about 600,000 cedis.
National Communications Officer of the NDC, Sami Jainfi, says the founders' concern will be addressed in a functional executive committee meeting Tuesday.
I can confirm to you that the national chairman and leader of the NDC has given a clear indication that in line with the democratic tenets underlining, our activities as a party, we will take into consideration the appeal of the disgruntled presidential aspirants and the appeal by no less a person than the founder and former president of Ghana, former President Jerry Rawlings. And so tomorrow FEC is going to meet. I know that NEC may be reconvened by the party to take a second look at our nomination fees, but I would not like to engage in any conjecture or speculations as to whether or not the fee as approved by NEC is going to be reduced or not. But I can tell you that we will take a second look at that. That is something that the chairman and leader of the party has clearly indicated.
But how does this happen when you have opened nominations, and that's supposed to happen for 48 hours? The presidential hopefuls are also appealing that you reduce the cost of the nomination from 20,000 to 5,000.
Like I said, the NDC is a democratic institution, and we will look at the appeal. We will look at it. The national chairman has given that clear indication.
The nomination will start today as scheduled.
Now the process has not been stayed. But that process is not sacrosanct. NEC is a master of his own rules, and I believe that it wouldn't spoil anything. At the end of the day, NEC is going to reconsider its decision, and should there be a change, I'm sure that that can be rectified. We allow for free speech. We allow for people to express their opinions. And you know that the opinion of our founder matters a lot. What I can tell you is that the decision of NEC to peg the cost of the presidential nomination form at 20,000 and the filing fees at 400,000 was a well thought through decision. A lot of thinking went into that. And we came to that decision after deep soul searching and deep reflections on all the issues, the high cost of organizing a successful presidential primaries, you know, due to the large size of the electoral college that we're going to be using in this election, was the main reason why we decided to peg, you know, the cost at 400,000. Okay. And so that, coupled with the excruciating conditions that we are living under, the economic hardship that we are living under, and the huge sums of money that the party needs to cough up at this stage to finance our presidential primaries this year, were some of the things that FEC and NEC took into consideration in arriving at those figures.
Is the party looking at other options to fund the election if you have only one coming up to say, I'm picking a nomination form?
Should we even have 10 people picking nomination forms at the current cost and filing, you know, at the current rates, we will still have to look for about 60 to 70% of the cost of the funds that we need to organize this year's presidential.
How's the party hoping to raise that?
From the dues of ordinary members and from donations from party financiers and supporters. That is the way that we've been using, in raising funds for financing party activity, and that is what we will continue to do. What we sought to do this time around was to increase the filing fee and the nomination fee so that we can supplement what we will be generating from the masses and other, donors and supporters and financiers of the party.